remember I said in the golf school, if you have a curvature problem, you have a club face issue. If you have a swing path problem or direction problem, it's the swing path. Okay? The ball is going to the left, there's not much curve, then it's the path. Alright? The ball is going to the right, there's not much curve, it's the path. Okay, now, this is a little bit more for the instructors than for Jason, but it's good for him to hear as well. I didn't come up with this stat. This stat was already produced well before I started teaching, and it's been confirmed by TrackMan, which is arguably the highest, type of technology software that we have in the golf industry today. Okay. In Search of the Perfect Golf Swing is a book that was written back in circa 1970 something by Alistair Cochran. On page 74, 75, there is a blurb in there that they used high-speed cameras back then that shows pictures of the club head hitting the golf ball and the initial spin of the golf ball that talks about the direction of the shot at impact. Alistair Cochran said back in the 70s that up to 75% of the initial direction of the shot is determined by the club face, and up to 25% is determined by the path. Contrary to belief with a lot of pros today that maybe just don't know better or aren't privy to that information or choose not to believe that information, that is a fact. Okay? That fact has been supported, and Klaus was there to witness it. I was in Sweden 2 years ago at the Danish opening PGA meetings, and I was one of the featured speakers there, and so I started talking about what I just talked about. And there's 80 or 90 some odd people there, and a hand gets raised in the back, and it was one of the Jim McLean instructors from in Europe, and he said, "Tim, can I mention something to you?" He said that, so I'm just getting ready to think, okay, I'm getting ready to have we'll have a little debate here, which is fine, but he said, up to TrackMan now supports that up to 90% of the initial direction of the golf ball is determined by the club face, and only 10% the club of the. And I said, thank you very much for updating. I can update my app. All right. So now we're more up to and it makes perfect sense, because where you contact the golf ball is largely the direction that the ball starts. The path will influence that. Jason is a little bit different in that his path is influencing a lot of his shot right now. The club face is fairly square, but it's square to the direction he's swinging. And his swing is angled off to the left too much. And it's angled off to the left too much because the club is a little bit laid off and out in front of him at the top of the backswing. So when the club is a little too much out in front of him this way, he can't swing enough from inside to catch the inside of the golf ball. And so that's why he's having a tendency to pull. Now his release tends to be a little bit this way. Okay, so if he's swinging to the left and he hits a little this way, if he's got a nice cushion, like we just talked about, he can hit some good shots up in the air. But he also is prone to hitting it fat because of that type of release. All right, he hit 1 or 2 shots fat because he's hitting too much this way with his right hand. Okay, but the biggest thing is we got to get the direction of the shot starting a little bit more to the right. Okay, and that's going to be done with getting his club to point in a better position at the top and showing him a little bit better direction to swing the club down on.